Hi Capricorns, if you want to come on and join me to scry your ink blot made in your name and essence. Whoop. If you want to take a screenshot so you can scry in your own time and terms for shapes or symbols that speak. Thank you as always for holding space for me to share my insights, for being a guest in your aura, and as well for being my muse. I'm kicking off this week with the cardinal signs, so Capricorn, Aries, Libra, and Cancer, but starting with Capricorns because we're Capricorns. I'm going to also add on along the way your copper coin, Capricorn, for a few heads or tails. If you have any questions that you're asking yourself, and maybe I'll even make a short of it. Excuse me. And as we all know, whether the answer is right or wrong, it reveals how you feel quite immediately. All right, Capricorns, close the eyes, releasing the race and the rush. Activating the abstract mind and ancient awareness to perceive and receive symbolic support. Let's go. Let's explore your aura. See what stands out. I got love on the mind, and maybe it is relationship love, but it's a caring love. It actually might be being sent to you. Something about maybe it's mental health, mental clarity, loving thoughts, whether this may pertain to a business venture and or career, personal relationships, this, that, or the other. But it's flooding right in, and these beings are sending it in. Oh, okay. So I'm going to go and call that the love flood. And sorry if the scribes take me a second or two. The love flood. These are actually coming in from gremlins and gargoyles, I'm hearing, from things that you've already transmuted. Self-sabotage or self-doubt. Even if people, places, and things have ticked you off, Capricorn, you're like, you know what? Excuse me, my nose is very fluffy. How does this feel? How do I say that? How do I say, I'm going to move through this. Thank you for giving me, like, it's as if somebody, including yourself, maybe hand you a downgraded opinion or something, or I don't know. Do you know what I mean? A disappointment, this, that, or the other. It's like the Capricorns are saying thank you for that weapon, and I'm going to turn it to the wisdom. So it's almost like, even if this is of yourself, it's like, you know what I'm seeing from, I think it's Game of Thrones when they're walking with the bell. Shame, shame, shame. And I don't mean to laugh if you're going through something that feels shameful. But that's kind of how it feels like. There's this shame that's any sort of shame that's been worked through. No longer feeling shameful for what you want, what you desire, and the caliber of that. And it's just the love flood keeps coming through. And when I wander down the other rabbit hole of love coming in, like you cannot destroy my confidence. And some might see this as cocky. Some might see this as egotistical. Granted, there's always a spectrum of that, but honestly, how I'm feeling it is, yeah, that's what one would say if I make you uncomfortable. That would be expected. You would apply more weaponry to your words to destroy that. My confidence is only if it's received that way, it's reflection of the receiver, not the provider. Now, I'm not talking about douchebaggery. This is mental clarity, even to the degree of saying, I don't know where this may lead. I can't divulge and will not divulge where all my cobblestones are leading. But I damn well will hold them at the highest caliber. And if that makes others uncomfortable, so be it. Or they notice a shift in your presentation of self, and it could even be so subtle. It's almost like if anyone's going to take me down, it's going to be of my own self-saboteur, and c'est dommage. I don't know why it's coming through in French. But if you're going through something that feels like grief goblins in whatever capacity that may be in, it's because it floods again with the love, like the reflections of, oh, I loved this, I loved that, the disappointments, the regrets, the this, that, or the other. And it can be even internally overwhelming if you're having exposing conversations, or people are leaving your life, or opportunities didn't work out. It reveals, like the coin, and a response. Say, oh, I really cared about that, and I didn't realize how much energy I was putting into it, how much thought I was putting into it. Does that make sense? I'm seeing rose petals. I feel like I rambled on there a whole lot. Somebody from Spirit is dropping rose petals on this love. And they're kind of falling like feathers, which is endearing. Almost like carnation. Carnation. Yeah, carnation. Whatever. That's fine. I'm going to leave it there. There's a holding up. There's a lot of earth being held up. It's like I'm in the upside down a little bit. So I feel like I'm in an esoteric landscape, occult landscape, occult meaning hidden, not to trigger anybody, or just simply upside down in reflection. So I'm curious how I'll see it the other way. So like, if you can imagine with me, Capricorns, like you're walking the earth, right? And pick a landscape that has some greenery, but mostly dirt or sand or something like that. More of a dirt versus a sand, okay? And I'm seeing it as though I'm seeing these mounds of see, now I'm going to say sand. Dirt. And it kind of looks odd. Like, okay. But I'm seeing it as foundations that have been broken down. Good, bad, or ugly. This could also be the grief. This could be the disappointments. I'll get back to that in a second. Thank you. But underneath, the topical earth is all the greenery. Okay? Inner earth. Inner earth ideas. So I feel like I'm kind of in that occult, esoteric landscape, the hidden heart, whatever you want to call it, whatever feels well and lands. And that is actually where things are growing. That's where different work is being done. And I can see someone like fussing and trimming and pruning things. Do you know what it feels like, Capricorns? It feels like, okay, when I was a kid and we would go down what's called the Hamilton Mountain, and let's not get excited, it's a hill. But as you're driving down the hill and your ears pop, but on the right side, I don't even need a vivid memory. It's still existing. There's this big mound that has, let's say for simplicity's sake, like chimneys sticking out. And I remember asking my parents, what is that? Because it looks like land. It looks like, just a pile of dirt, but then it has these concrete chimney-like things. So it looks like nothing's there, but something's there. Something is under the ground. And it's almost as if going into this inner earth thing. Oh my God, I'm getting all excited. It's weird. You're doing something. There's a particular or specific amount of something or other that's exposed. Even if this is of your feelings, whether this is of a career intention or whatever channels those are, you know, you're the creator that connects the dots. Growth is happening underneath. But I'm seeing it's like a lab. I don't know if this is like the collective Capricorn lab, if I may. Like it feels very science oriented. There's different research going on. Different parts are applying in their preferred placements, maybe. Like, so if you're a Capricorn that is more math and science oriented, or English class, or art, whatever the case, woodworking to fixing cars, everyone's in their respective places applying pieces of knowledge in regular things, but that essence is being hidden. There is something else I wanted to add to that. Maybe it'll come back. Because I'm also seeing like a Swiss Army knife. Oh, it was in relation to the emotions, that even if it was, you know, working on yourself, maybe, you know, your quiet time, or self-care, or healings, heart healings, whatever the case may be. Sorry, over here I wrote down horse chess piece, and it's coming out of the Swiss Army knife. There's also a sock coming out of it. There's the horse. I'll pull this up, see if I can share this with you. So I'm looking all the way around. Do you know what I'm seeing? It's like a seal, like the Capricorn earth element seal, wax seal, but it's brown. You don't get to see what's being worked on. I don't know, or other people don't. Again, this feels like the whole weaponry in words, and Capricorns are noticing that, and then also transforming words into wisdoms. Okay, so the Swiss Army knife. There's a blatant horse chess piece coming out. Very chariot vibes. I also see a gnome in there. I don't know. We were talking about like goblins and ghosts. Capricorns. This is just where I'm at now. Okay, I'm going to keep drawing down. Thank you for joining me. And we're going to add on some tarot and oracle. And I'll do my best to post the finished scribed ink blot with all the notes on Instagram at a later date and time. All right, we're going to keep going here for Capricorn. So I feel like I'm in the trunk of the body. And your ink blot, and I say yours, but it's also of mine, being a Capricorn. I'm seeing a figure, possibly a cat as well, like a tiger. It's a tiger in the heart to high heart space. There's golden. It's like attracting in is gold and pink hues. 2 elephants are touching trunks. So there might be somebody in memory that's trying to connect with you, or your memories are reflecting upon somebody. Then I'm also seeing 2 dinosaurs that have a line between them. More feline in nature because it's working with the tiger. So you could be in 2 different realms, life and death, or, you know, alive and afterlife. And if it's in this landscape, it feels like dinosaurs, like there could just be old things in the heart that's like, okay, something might be held hostage there, and it's like, okay, enough is enough. You know, the blocks there, the boundaries there. I'm seeing multicolored smoke rise up with, if there's an exposure, a Capricorn feels, it's almost like I can see it, somebody doing it like in their private space. You're just taking a moment, maybe you're standing in mountain pose, or you're just standing there. You don't need to add any yoginess to it. And it's like feeling, like drawing up. It feels very magician-like, but not even, it's like multi-dimensional magician. It's mixing earth and ethereal. And for whatever reason, I'm like drawn way down here. Like, again, see these, it's like a tidal wave that is kicking out certain little elementals. And I don't know if that's the right word. I guess depending on your relationship. Kicking them out. Or putting them to work. Sorry. Seeing Winnie the Pooh. It's in the shadow of the emotional space or the ethereal. Like, I feel like I'm seeing something. It's Winnie the Pooh. And what's the little piglet guy? And Piglet. Might be a friend you had from childhood, or somebody that even as an adult, you're like, wow, I feel like I have a friend from childhood somehow. There is a solution for every problem. Make peace with your past and set personal boundaries. This for me is, of course, always follow what you feel. For me, this is landing more so when I was up here in this energy. The boundary perhaps with that dinosaur, making peace with it, making peace with people who have those, who try to create conflict in communication. There is a solution for every problem. And sometimes that problem is detaching, or the solution is detaching. Giving the boot. Oh, I'm seeing, I'm going to say a snake with fangs. So I can't say exactly what, right there, see it? This is in the feet. This feels very, very protective of the Capricorn emotional state, and with the venom being an ability to be like, something about striking. And even though it's in the feet, or what I'm feeling is it's all in that like magician smog, and it's almost like to wander down any rabbit hole and not to favor one or the other, just being in the aura of the collective. It's like I'm staying there, and you imagine somebody fuming and it comes out of here. Well, there's a fuming up here, and then there's a fuming down here, fuming totality being positive or negative. And it's like I'm standing there listening, and it's like my emotions are like brewing. Yeah, a brewing. But I don't want to necessarily say, from my point of view, that it's, of course, there's negative is what I wanted to say. Finish that damn thought. But there might, you might just need to be staying there and holding your own, and like, But realizing this manifestation within your own aura, probably about 3 feet. For some, it might wander out 6 and then come up to about 3 feet when it gets higher up towards the hips to the rib cage. And this, okay, so this is where I'm seeing the transmutation of this energy. If like you're standing there listening to your boss, or you're standing there listening to somebody go, you're great, but you know, you'd be prettier if, or wouldn't it be if you just saw things my way, whatever the case may be. And you're standing there, you're like, and it's brewing. And it's brewing. And it moves up with this, because there's lots of purple there, and it's felt fully from the root up, but it brings this intelligence. I'm seeing something, I don't know what culture it's in, but they kind of have like prayer hands, but their capery or their drapery is really, really long. And they got like a pointy hat in there, right there. I don't, maybe like samurai or something. Anyway, it's not the point. It gets transmuted through the legs, like something's trying to bind you to your own brewing. And then it comes up and you're like, transmute this. The gold comes in. The goldfishes come in. I'm open to receive gold. Because somebody else, something, even if I'm standing in a mirror, wanted a reaction. And I'm the wisdom. And I use my own weapons wisely. Okay, I'm going to flip it to win it here, Capricorns, and try and close out. Actually, you know what? Sorry, I didn't even. Grounded. Oh, sorry, I don't know why I can't read that. Armadillo. And see all that gold that came in? All this earth? That's what that's like. That's what that's like. Capricorns, armadilloing. Hair is on the bottom. More golden glow. 7 might be prominent. There's a reaching up. There's a reaching up. Okay. I'm going to keep going here. And if you'd like to like, share, subscribe, thank you. If you want to pause and return back another time to the reverse, by all means. But I'm going to keep going here to look on the dark side of the moon of Capricorn. There is a dragon, specifically a blue dragon. Should that symbology mean anything to you? And it's peeling away from another dragon that I feel like is more earth-oriented, or a brown dragon. If anyone has any understanding about dragons or the symbolic meaning, it's like they're peeling apart. But they work together, so they're going to go out into their respective arenas and work on something. But at the same time, Capricorns, I'm not going to lie, it feels like glue between them. Do they want to be attached? Is that part of the magic? Is that part of the manifestation? Is knowing what your emotions are attached to in the tangible realm? There could be hidden emotions, or whatever the case may be. Again, that very occulty feeling that is attached. It's almost like being very aware of the electricity and magnetism and how they're, of the emotions and the realms this is in. I'm also seeing marshmallows. Okay, so we had wolf and candle magic come in. And broom and transformation. There's something about in that golden glow that we were talking about up here. It's going to draw me down quite quickly. Oh, see? Yeah. This is, I'm in the upside down. Okay, so when I saw it this way, and I'm like, okay, this is what's being exposed. This is the actual landscape and the sun that's underneath, right? The hidden. And then reversed, I'm like, oh, I'm here. I'm here. The sun is here. Things are going to turn around. Things are going to turn around. Because there's an ultimate merge of the earth and the ethereal. Hilarious. I'm seeing Barney the purple dinosaur. Capricorns, maybe just receive a hug. You know, that's okay. Because that's how it comes through for me, a hug. And it's like they're hugging each other because they're working together. A clearing. I do feel like between, I know they didn't come out together necessarily, the candle magic and the broom, there might be a clearing of some sort of spell work that maybe you feel has been done to you. Maybe, again, that's in that landscape. You've actually put yourself under a spell of thinking, this is what I can reach. This is what I can do. This is the be all end all. If I feel like this now, this is how I feel forever. And it's not how I'm feeling is the case. There's a transformation through the transmutation, 1,000 storms. And there's always change on the horizon. Wolf with the 44, there's that partnership, that pairing. I don't know if the lighting will let that come through. Whether this is the light and dark of yourself, the esoteric, exoteric, but it feels like that friendly Winnie the Pooh and Piglet. You know, no matter what their sizes are, in whatever reflection that may be, they're more valuable together. Or more adventures are had together. That's what was well better said. And there's a freedom for each to move within those realms that they're comfortable in. And it brings me right back into those two, the blue dragon and the earth dragon. Like having them work together. Okay, Capricorns, I'm going to get ready to close out here. We'll add on a few vampire tarot cards and see what else comes through. Seeing I think it's Anubis. It came up last week, I think, in somebody else's reading. Capricorn Collective. Oh, I'm also seeing a swan. There's something about grace. Whatever you're going through, it can be done with grace, and I don't necessarily know that means externally expressed, like internal grace. I don't know if that's a thing. Internal grace, applying that stature, that confidence of, yeah, I'm going through this right now, or this change is happening, and I'm feeling it, but I'm not going to, something about like upholding not a character, but adding in the grace and saying, okay, then I'm gonna, I don't know, do this with grace. I don't know how else to say that. Okay, Capricorns, Knight of Holy Waters and the 2 of Garlic Flowers. 8 also came up here in like my side peripheral. So number 8, along with 44 coming into that 8 as well. And the Knight of Knives and the 3 of, I believe it's the wands. What do they call them? When stakes. Okay, so there's 2 people in spirit stepping forward. I'm going to get ready to flip a coin. Two male spirits stepping forward. One is younger and one is older, or more established energy in the last incarnation. Not necessarily overall, just in the last incarnation. I also want to note that the name on this card is Samuel Taylor Coleridge. Joseph Sheridan. Oh, Le Fanu. That's where that French kind of came in. I believe they're just stepping forward in a protection. And if there's anyone feeling like they're in that infinite loop of the snake eating its own tail, again, there's a wisdom in. I do feel like it's like that self-saboteur space or whatnot. They're trying to help unwind something so that you're not eating your own tail. Or maybe just keep an eye out for that, if that makes sense, Capricorns. And there's lots of protection. They're going in different areas. The younger gentleman in spirit here seems to be like on the prowl and will, like, as that smoke and manifestation or whatever it is that you're brewing. And he might even be like a spirit guide. He like looks right at you. It's like, this is how we're going to do this. Okay. And almost like those goblins that I saw before, they look like more like little ghosts from a video game. And they get sent out. Okay, Capricorns. Thank you so much. If you want to, I'm going to flip the coin here. If you want to ask yourself a question, take a moment to think about it. We'll call Capricorn with the seagoat heads and the other side yin yang tails. When you're ready, I guess you can pause it. I don't actually need to like sit here and breathe through it as well with you, but let's do it, Capricorns. I'm not very good at this, so I probably should just shake it up and drop it. We got tails. So when Capricorns, maybe get ready or listen in on the tail of the sea goat, the water portion, come up onto land a little bit. And then view that reflective pool in which your tail so beautifully works through like a mermaid. Or no. And if I didn't clarify that, heads is yes, tail is no. All right, Capricorns, thank you for being my muse. I have rambled on way, way, way too long, but I appreciate your time and awesome awareness. And until next time.